What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to fold and cut and staple a corner. And basically at this point all four sides have already been stapled. I left about 6 to 8 inches free at each corner so that I have enough material to work with. But what we want to do is we want to cut some of this material out of this corner so that we don't have a, if we did fold it all down in some manner, we don't want to have a big bulky corner here. Otherwise the panel won't fit so nicely and flush against the wall. So we actually cut out some of this fabric here, and I'll show you the technique how to do that. First off, what you want to do is you want to, at the corner, you want to cut back in at a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to work on cutting this fabric out on this side first. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut kind of back in, kind of back at another 45-degree angle, or actually a 90-degree angle from the cut I just made, just a little bit, and then I can cut it straight, following the edge. And then once I get in there about an inch or so, then I can just cut it out of there. So basically what I have here is the last inch of the piece here, the corner here, it's about a 1/2 inch overlap of vinyl, and then this is about a 2-inch overlap. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the other side off. And so what you're going to do is you're going to line up the corner, this corner here, I'm going to line it up. So I line up these two edges together, and I should have it such that I'm just going to kind of test fit it, but I'm lining up, I'm making this edge here line up with the edge of the actual corner itself. So this folded edge here, I'm going to cut out the fabric all inside of that. But I want to leave about 1/4 of an inch of a lip here, so I'm going to come about 1/4 of an inch from that edge I made, cut all the way down. Okay, then I'm going to cut back up, so at it back up towards my corner, back up at a basically 90-degree cut. So I'm going to just cut down instead of up, it's easier. Okay. Now to remove that fabric out of there, and so then now you can see that I still have enough material that can cover that corner. And then this is going to be able to fold and cover up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish stapling this down here. A couple more staples in. I'll stay about a 1/2 inch away from the corner because I'm going to put a couple staples on all of it here in a sec. So now this can fold over that corner. And I make my little 1/4 inch fold here. And this is going to tuck over quite nicely here in a sec. You just kind of got to fold it all in there. And what I do is I kind of taper this over the top here so that it kind of bevels inward. Really pull it nice and taut. And you'll see that that's a real nice corner. And I'll staple this down. And I'll finish stapling out this. Every time I do a staple, I always want to pull the material really tight away from the edge. Always pull it towards the center so everything's nice and stretched really nice and tight. And then we have a nice corner here. And then what I'll do is I'll come and I'll cut this off here, this fabric here, so it's not so bulky. And there you have it. We have a nice clean corner. And also now that I've completed all 4 corners, what I'll go back and do is I'll go back and I'll put staples in between all these. Each time I put a staple in, I'll pull the fabric away with the index finger and the thumb. I'll keep pulling it away so everything stays nice and taut. So I'll go and actually put another whole roll of staples in here in between these 4-inch staples. Okay, there you have it. This is a completed panel. In my particular application, my panels are going to be mounted horizontally this way. This is the only height that I need for the particular area that I'm protecting against. Obviously these panels could also be mounted the other way as well. So depending on how high of the padding you want to put along your wall, you can make them as long as you wish. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some different ways that you could actually mount these panels to your walls. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you some mounting solutions. For this particular panel, I'm going to mount it with a mending brace. This is a 2-inch by 1/2 inch wide mending brace, and basically half of it is going to, one side of it's going to mount to your board, the other side is going to overhang, and you'll be able to mount that to the wall. This is kind of a wide panel here, so I'm going to put 5 of them on this one. I'm going to put them about 3 inches from each side, each edge, and then I'm going to evenly space the other 3 throughout the rest of it. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these mending braces now. Here you have it. Here's a completed wall panel. This wall panel, I have my mounting hardware mounted to the top side. The mounting hardware, the mending brackets that we attached earlier, they go along the top here. I evenly spaced mine because mine's going to mount up against a wooden wall, and so I could do that. But if you're going to be mounting it on a wall where there's studs, you want to line your mending brackets up so that they'll line up to a stud in the wall, so you have a nice secure anchor point. Also, as far as how you might want to attach the bottom, you could do the same thing on the bottom, put mending brackets on the bottom side. You'd have to raise your panel off the floor by 1 inch or 2, but you might want to raise it off the same height as your floor mats. That way, when it's attached to the wall, your floor mats will actually slide and fit nice and snug underneath these wall mats hanging off the wall. Another solution at the bottom is you don't have to put any mounting brackets on the bottom, but your floor mats can actually butt up nicely to the wall mat, kind of keeping it in place so that the bottom doesn't kick out. You could put a few beads of caulk along the, or not caulk, but a few beads of liquid nails along the bottom to help hold the bottom in place too. And also, maybe depending on your application, if you don't want to do that, maybe you could put also a few strips of Velcro on the back side at the bottom so that it kind of hold that bottom in place. Another solution that you might want to do is, if you can't use any mounting hardware for your particular application, you could mount the panel with liquid nails. Maybe if you have a completely concrete wall and you can't screw it into the wall, you could put liquid nails liberally on the back and attach it to a concrete wall that way. This panel here is actually going to be mounted, so this is as high as the wall is that I'm going to be attaching this to, but of course, depending on your application, your panels might be vertical as well. So, and then you could have a panel. I don't know why you would need a wall panel that's 6 feet tall, but generally in a training area you're going to have a wall panel that's somewhat around shoulder width, so that if you bang into the wall that you're still somewhat protected from getting an injury against the wall, especially if you're doing some stand-up training. So anyway, I hope that you found this video useful in learning how to make your own padded wall mats for your training facility, your garage, or your basement.